In the long run, it is always the dead body that announces its own death. Welcome to section 9 of chapter 16 of the Holy Quran. And section 9 begins with sign 66. Namshi. Wa inna lakum fil an'ami la ibratan. And verily in cattle too will ye find an instructive sign. Ibratan, la ibratan. And verily in cattle two is in brackets. Without the brackets it reads, and verily in cattle will ye find an instructive sign. Tuskikum mimma fi butunihim. Tuskikum mimma fi butunihim min bena farth. From what is within their bodies, mimma butunihim, from what is within their bodies, mimma butunihim, from what is within their bodies between excretions and blood, we produce for your drink milk pure and agreeable to those who drink it. This is food for thought for us. في بطونهم من بين فرث ودم, blood. Ferritin is excretions. Ferritin excretions. Wadam, blood. Labanan, milk. Labanan. Labanan, halisan. To produce for you milk, pure, halisan, and agreeable, pure and agreeable for those who drink it. Halisan. Sa'ifan lil sharibin. Haliban sa'ifan lil sharibin, to those who drink. So you can see how God generates milk and meat from excrement, from excretions. It's God, the Creator, who is telling us that the milk and not only milk and meat, those things that we have from cattle are produced from the excretions of the cattle. The excretions of man, for example, is sweat, and he makes it from the cattle, and that of the cattle he produces for us to enjoy, and we never give thought to that. Okay, there are three commentaries to read: 2093, 2094, and 2095. 93 is against science, 94 is against bodies, and 95 is against blood. Let's go there. 2093. The spiritual sustenance which Allah gives, or which God gives, is typified by the wonderful ways of sustenance in the physical world, which figure forth God's providence and loving care for His creation. Full stop. And the wonderful transformations in the physical world, which all tend to the benefit of man, are also signs of His supreme wisdom, God's supreme wisdom. Full stop. In the previous verse, rain was mentioned. Yes, I read this prematurely, this commentary prematurely. Okay. In the previous verse, rain was mentioned, which gives new life to dead nature. Full stop. In this and the following two verses, our attention is drawn to milk, the products of the date and the vine, the products of the date and the vine and honey. 94. We're going to, yes, 94. 2094. There, the word here, the key word here that the commentator puts is there, DHEIR, there, semicolon. In Arabic, it is is. In Arabic, there, it is. In the singular number for two reasons. One, cattle is the generic plural and may be treated as a singular noun. Two, the instructive sign is in cattle collectively, but the milk is the product of each single individual. That's commentary 2094. We're going to commentary, the last commentary for that sign, which is sign 66, 2095, 2095. Milk is a secretion in the female body, like other secretions, but more specialized. Full stop. Is it not wonderful that the same food eaten by males and females produces in the latter, that's in the females, produces in the latter when they have young, the wholesome and complete food known as milk. Food for thought. We all take the same food. Male and female take the same food. But God, with his wisdom, has made the female to use part of the food to produce milk for children. Do we think of it? While the male walks about without milk. And yet we think it's just by coincidence. We think we deserve it. No. Okay. When they have wholesome food, known as milk. Yes, not known as milk is a question. Then, when cattle are tamed and specially bred for milk, the supply of milk is vastly greater than is necessary for their young and lasts for a longer time than during the period they give suck to their young. And God has given us the brain to make the milk last longer and to make the cattle produce more, so we also can get sustenance from it. Let me use the word sustenance. Okay, suck to their young. And it is a wholesome and agreeable diet for man. It is pure, as typified by its whiteness. Full stop. Yet, it is a secretion. Yet, it is a secretion like other secretions. It looks pure, but it's a secretion like other secretions. Between the excretions which the body rejects as worthless and the precious bloodstream, and the precious bloodstream is hyphenated, which circulates within the body and is a symbol of life itself to the animal which produces seeds. We now go to sign 62, second sign of section 9. ومن ثمرات النخيل والأعناب تتخذون منه سكرا. And from the fruits of the date palm and the vine, ye get out strong drink. Sakaran. You get out strong drink. Sakaran. Wariskan. And strong drink and wholesome food. Wariskan hasanan. Wariskan hasanan. And wholesome food. Riskan hasanan. مم. إن في ذلك لآيات إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يعقلون. Uh, Behold, in this also is a sign for people who are wise. لقوم يعقلون. We did this. Yeah. Yes. I've forgotten it. Yakulun. Yeah. Yes. I've forgotten it. We did it earlier. I can't remember them now. Uh, Commentary to read is 2096. Commentary to read is 2096. There are wholesome drinks and foods. There are wholesome drinks and foods that can be got out of the date palm and the vine, e.g., non-alcoholic drinks from the date and the grape, vine, date sugar, grape sugar, and and grapes themselves dates and grapes themselves for eating. He gives us the brain to make this, produce all these items mentioned from grapes and dates, which themselves are food for us to eat without being processed. Mm. Okay, if sakar, that's the word sakar in Arabic, if sakar is taken in the sense of fermented wine, it will refer to the time before intoxicants were prohibited. It refers to the time before intoxicants were prohibited. So that saccharin may be also intoxicants, but the commentator is saying that this meaning was probably introduced before the intoxicants were prepared from the fruits, dates, and vines. Okay, for this is for this is a Makan surah, and the prohibition came in Medina. Okay, so this surah is in Mecca before the Prophet moved to Medina. In such a case, it would imply a suitable approval of the use of intoxicants and mark the first of a series of steps that in time culminated in total prohibition. And that's commentary 2096 to sign 67. We now go to sign 68. وأوحى وأوحى ربك إلى نهل. And that is the title of this chapter, Nahle. B. So now we're going to natural things for men to reflect that natural things made by God. We make use of that. We make use of natural things made of God for our own sustenance and enjoyment. Mm. Uh, وأوحى ربك إلى النحل أن تهزي من جبال بيوتا من جبال بيوتا. And the Lord taught the bee to build its cells in hills, to build its cells in hills. And tahizu من جبال بيوتا ومن شجرة ومما ومما يرشون. uh, in trees and on hills, in hills, jibali, and shajaratin, on trees, and immense habitations, were shajaratin, wa mimma yarishun, and immense habitations. Commentary 2097, commentary 2097. Did we do 296? Yes, we did 296, 2097. Auha, that's inspiration. Auha, that's the word Auha is now being explained by the commentator. Auha, Wahyun, أوها column. Then wahyun ordinarily means inspiration. Okay. أوها wahyun ordinarily means inspiration, comma, the message put into the mind or heart by God. The message put into the mind or heart by God. Here, the bee's instinct is referred to God's teaching. God is undoubtedly, which is to God's teaching, which is undoubtedly is. Sorry, to God's teaching, which it undoubtedly is. So it doesn't put inspiration to men only, to the creature, to each other creatures, bees, teaching it to go to hills and make milk for us. Pardon me if I'm not talking right. Undoubtedly is. In chapter XCIX, I suppose that is, well, let me leave it so for viewers to make out what is it. XCIX. Maybe 49 or so. Maybe 49. Sign 5. It is applied to the earth. Semicolon. We shall discuss the precise meaning when we come to that passage. We shall describe the precise meaning when we come to that passage. It could have been, yes, okay. Pardon me. So let me read the chapter in a Roman numerals. XCIV, sign 5. Full stop. The honeycomb, comma, itself, the honeycomb itself with its hexagonal cells, geometrically perfect, is a wonderful structure and is well called Buyut homes, and is well called Buyut homes. Full stop. And the way the bee finds out inaccessible places in the hills, in the trees, and within among the habitations of men is one of the marvels of God's working in his creation. Indeed, God is wonderful. And that's commentary 2097 to sign 68. We now go to sign 69. We now go to sign 69. ثم كل من كل ثم كل من كل ثمرات فاسلكي سبلا Rebecca Zululan. Then to eat of all the produce of the earth, to eat of all the produce of the earth, and follow the ways of thy Lord made smooth. To follow the way, and follow the ways of thy Lord made smooth. Sublan, where is it? Yes, verse 2. Sublan, the ways, Rebecca, of thy Lord, Zulu land. Zulu land made smooth. Zulu land made smooth. Okay. Yaruju. 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 Yaruju min butunaha sharabun. Yaruju min butunaha sharabun muhtalifun. Yaruju min butunaha sharabun muhtalifun. Alwanuhu fihi shika'un lenas, and follow the ways of thy Lord made smooth. Their issues from within their bodies, Mimbutuna, from within their bodies, a drink of varying colors, mm, uh, muhtalifan, sharabun muhtalifan, of various colors, shalu muhtalifan, alwan, of various colors, fihi shikakun, lenasu, within the bodies, a drink of various colors, wherein is healing for men, wherein is healing for men. Shika'un lenas, where is healing for men. Shika'un. Inna fi zalika ayatun lekomin yafkarun. Verily in this is a sign for those who give thought. Verily in this is a sign for those who give thought. We did them earlier. Yaf lekomin yatafakarun. Yatafakurun, yazakarun, and yatakun. There doesn't seem to be any commentary to read. Yes, there is commentary 2098. The bee assimilates the juice of various kinds of flowers and fruit and forms within its body the honey, which it stores in its cells of wax, full stop. The different kinds of food from which it makes its honey give different colors to the honey, e.g., it is dark brown, e.g., it is dark brown, light brown, yellow, white, and so on. The taste and flavor also varies, as in the case of leather honey, as in the case of heather honey, the honey formed from scented flowers, and so on. Full stop. As food, it is sweet and wholesome, and it is used in medicine. Full stop. Note that while the instinctive individual acts, individual acts are described in the singular number, the produce of their bodies, hyphenated, is described in the plural, as the result of their collective effort. So you see, bees are social creatures like many other creatures. And that is sign 20, that is commentary 2098. That's commentary 2098 to sign 69. Not yet finished. There are still commentaries. 2099 is also to sign 69. Let's go there. 2099. Zululand. The word Zululand. That's made smooth, if I'm not mistaken. Two meanings are possible. One, the ways easy and spacious, referring to the unerring way in which bees find their way from long distances to their combs. And two, the idea of humility and obedience in them. We now go to, that's commentary 2099 to sign 69. Now we go to sign 70. And what does it say? Wallahu halakakum thumma yatawafakum. It is God who creates you and takes your souls or at death. Yatawafakum, and takes your souls at death. ومنكم من ومنكم من يرد إلى أرزل على أرزل أمري لكي لا لكي لكي لا يعلم لكي لا يعلم بعد علمي شيئا at death. And of you there are some who are sent back to a feeble age, so that they know nothing after having known much. It's like وَمَنْ نُؤَمِّرْهُ نُنَكِّسْهُ فِي الْخَلْقِ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. Those whom lives we extend, we give, we reverse their minds. Don't you understand? It's similar to this verse. And of you, where there are some who are sent back to feeble age. God willing, I may be getting there. Many people are there already, feeble age. So that, and you too, you may be getting there too. It all depends on God. So that they know nothing after having known much. Ask the great scientists when they are feeble. Ask them how they were able to make their inventions. They won't be able to remember anything. But God has given them the wisdom to write things down, so future generations can take over their work. But you ask them today, you ask somebody, a scientist who is 1995, how did he invent this? They'll be fumbling, mumbling, murmuring. They won't know what to say. So God is telling us it is He who sent back to a feeble age, so that they know nothing after having known much. من يرد إلى أزل الأمر لكي لا يعلم بعد علم شيئا. After knowing much, إن الله عليم قدير. إن الله عليم قدير. Here again the invocation of God. For God is all-knowing, all-powerful. إن الله عليم قدير. For God is all-powerful, is all-knowing, all-powerful. The commentary to it is 2100 and 2101. We go to 2100. Besides the mystery and beauty of the many processes going on in the working of God's creation, there is the wonderful life of man himself on earth. How he is created as a child, how he grows in intelligence and knowledge, and how his soul is taken back, and the body suffers dissolution, and the body suffers dissolution, full stop. In some cases, he lives so long that he falls into a feeble old age, like a second childhood. Semicolon. He forgets what he learnt. And seems almost to go back in time. Full stop. It's not all this wonderful and evidence of knowledge and power of God. It's a question. It's a question for us to reflect. All right, viewers, I think I've jawed enough. And This is the end of section 9 of chapter 16 of the Holy Quran. Or let me say this, yes, is the end of sign 70 of section 9 of chapter 16 of the Holy Quran. We now see why the chapter is that chapter 16 is entitled Anali, the bee. And the bee is included in the nature of God. It's added here to tell us the nature of God amongst other creatures, how He God recycles items or recycles processes in our body for our enjoyment, and we little do we give thought to these things. We just come, ha 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 ha, and laugh. Beer, ha 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 ha. We don't know. We don't think of the nature of God, where the beer comes from, where the milk comes from, where the meat comes from, and then we just eat and laugh and go and jump, and that is all. No, that's a simple life. The thinking man, like this Quran is telling us, to think of how the processes that lead to these sustenances that we enjoy. Thank you very much. Ila lika ibaba. May God be with you all. Au revoir.